Hey there, we're back. It's another episode of Sounds Like Adventure. It's me, your host and DM, Jack. Hey. And yes, we're back once again. Thank you so much for your patience while we took a short break over the last 2 weeks, but we are back at it. So let's not muck around and let's jump straight into the episode. So in the last episode, you heard the crew discover a mysterious note that named the strange figure in black as someone called Ezekiel, who had been brought in to fix the Thorncutter's mistake. The identity of the sender of the note, that remains a mystery still, but the crew did find out the locations of 2 more places where mould samples had been planted. So after they met the colourful organiser of the Leaning Markets, Cannonball Cameron, Reef Marshal arrived, and after conferring with Drea, he instructed the crew to split up and try to dispose of the remaining 2 mould clusters. All right, let's find out what happens. It's 3 weeks ago. The late morning sun filters through the canopy of the murk, dappled light illuminating Serpent's Way. People move up and down the walkway, but despite the activity, a small shop sits quiet with no visitors. Carved into the base of an ancient tree, a painted sign reads, Hethel's Curiosities. Drea, you came here yesterday, and you met the shopkeeper, Marcus Hettel. He came to Maya's watch because he thinks a monster is on the prowl, and the watch, they sent you to check it out. So you agreed to come back this morning, but you fell asleep out in the swamp and you're coming back late. And yeah, you're running late, you're approaching, this area has like a very prominent entrance to the Causeway Caves. You look over and you sort of glance at that as you're approaching the door. What's going through your mind knowing you're running so late?
You'd figure she would be rushing to not be even more late, but she's doing the most leisurely walk over there possible. I think yeah, she's a little stressed about it, but she doesn't really care that much. Yeah.
So this Marcus thinks something is coming out of the cave at night, and he wants it taken care of. And yesterday you agreed to come back at dawn this morning, and the 2 of you were going to go into the causeway to take a look. Right. So it's now nearly lunchtime, and there's nothing to do but go and knock on the door and get on with things. So what do you do?
Well, she'll do that. She'll go up, just a couple knocks on the door, hope he's still there and hasn't gone in by himself.
Door swings open.
Okay.
Young woman is standing there. Tiefling, maybe 25. She opens the door and you notice she has one hand resting protectively on her stomach. She looks pregnant. Eyes are red-rimmed. She says, "You're the Marshman?"
Yeah.
My husband said you'd be here at dawn.
I just running a bit behind. Is he still here?
She glances over at the cave entrance. He says, "He waited for you, but you didn't come. He said he couldn't wait any longer."
Right.
The sounds from the caves, they've been getting worse. Drea, the memory of that morning fades. And you stand before another entrance. Not a cave this time, but a maintenance ladder leading up to the pulley house roof. Gimbals and Torrin are standing behind you, and I think you are probably turning a big metal wheel to unlock the gate. You saying anything, you're doing anything as you unlock it, complaining at all that you do the manual labor?
She wouldn't complain about that. I feel like, given she's probably the most physically capable out of this trio, it's just a distant look to her. I think that's the most they would notice.
Gimbals and Torrin, what are you guys doing as Drea does this?
Gimbals is probably shuffling, agitated because he's just wants to move, but he knows that he can't until she opens this gate, and he's shuffling back and forth.
Torrin.
I reckon Torrin's doing that. It's putting one hand on us slowly. It's yeah, we got this. It's the people that have one corner, two fingers when someone's carrying a table. Torrin's doing that. Just yeah. Teamwork.
Helping.
We got this, guys. Teamwork.
All right, Dre, you finish opening the gate and there's a ladder that leads up. So you guys are going to have to go up single file. What order are you guys climbing the ladder up?
Gimbals at scramble.
I think Dreo is going to offer to go last just to keep an eye on everyone.
I should go next.
Great. To begin the climb, 4 stories of external maintenance ladders. The entire structure is swaying slightly.
Great fun.
Then across the markets, as Torrin, Gimbals, and Drea climb up a ladder, Clay and Eustace, the two of you are climbing down one. You're descending into the lower levels of the markets. This passage with this ladder is dark, lit only by the glow of some fungi on the wall. What are you two saying to each other as you descend this ladder?
Just, watch your foot. You nearly stood on my hand, okay? I know it's dark. Just be a little bit more careful, Eustace. Come on.
Yeah, sorry. I think Eustace is probably a bit scared of the dark. So he's probably clinging to your hand very tightly as you're descending your way down.
So eventually you reach the bottom of the ladder and you come into this larger open area that is better lit. You can see metal grates on the wall with pipes behind them. So this room is the northeast flood basement where you were supposed to go. When they raise and lower the water in the canals in the market, the water flows here. But Cannonball Cameron has suspended the movement of the water, so you're safe to move about now. But you're here to look for a mould sample. So can you guys just give me a quick insight check first, both of you?
Cool. Let's do that.
I rolled an 18. Finally.
And I rolled a nat 20 for a 25.
So both of you,
half a season.
it sort of dawns on you at the same time. So you realize that this is one of the rooms that the masked figure led you through when you were chasing him. And you've like, did he plant something while we were coming through here? Like, there wasn't much time to do anything like that. There was water in here. Gimbals was doing the big thunderclap to make the water go away. Why did he show us a place like this if it's so like vital to this plan that's happening? Those are thoughts all sort of bounce around in both of your guys' heads at the same time.
You don't think, Cloud, that he wanted us to find this, do you?
She, looks around. Does anything jump out at her? Or it's just sort of whatever.
What are you looking for?
I think I'm just vaguely looking to see if anything. I don't know exactly.
No, you don't see any
Okay.
overt clues or anything to indicate that this is like a setup or anything like that.
Eustace, I think he was probably just running and this just happened to be wherever, I guess. I don't know. We've been in a few of the floodways before. It doesn't really, I don't know, other than the kind of not okay vibe, seems like a flood area to me.
Okay, maybe just, I don't know. I just got a funny feeling, but yeah, let's just find the sample, I guess.
Well, okay. What do you mean, funny feeling?
It's not adding up to me, I guess. Like, why we were with him the whole time and I didn't, he didn't do anything. And why, if he did do something before we started chasing him and he took us through here, like, why would he take us right past the thing that he didn't want us to find in the first place? It kind of seems like, but I don't know, maybe I'm just overthinking it.
No. I mean, I think, well, people say it's about the journey, not the destination. And he did just sort of, and she kind of puts her hand around her neckline and she says, she did just sort of lead us to that old cathedral. Did you take anything from the cathedral?
I might still have the paper clipping about the pie.
You still got that. You got
Yeah,
the
I think I pull it out
important.
pretty proudly. I don't think that's going to help right now, sis.
No.
I don't. Yeah.
Nothing else, so just the...
So we're just looking for. Well, we're looking for mold. And it kind of looks around. You were saying we went past some mold as we came down, right?
No, you went past some fungi.
Fungi. Cool,
Yeah,
cool,
like
cool.
some glowing fungi.
Yeah. No, just like a really fun guy.
Yeah,
Light
he's
sticks. Yeah.
having a great time.
Yeah, that's Keith. He just stays on that.
But yeah, you guys have a look around this room and you notice that there's this small chamber off to the side of the room. It's about head high or a little bit lower. Looks like it descends into this smaller alcove. Most of the water seems to have flown out of the basement, but this small area still has water inside that you can see from this distance. And you notice growing all around the top of the entrance is a familiar grey mould. Drea, Gimbals, and Torrin, the three of you climb up onto the roof of the pulley house. So, this is the other location left on the mysterious note. This building houses the feats of magical engineering that allow the leaning markets to operate. The whole building shakes with vibrations of gears turning. Gimbals, you've been quite unimpressed with the efficiency of the pulley system, or should I say the inefficiency. What are you saying as you see all this like chaos of gears and steam and just chaos?
He'd probably turn to Tor and he'd be like, see, this is exactly what I've been saying. It doesn't make sense. Why would you use a pulley system? Why wouldn't you use water weights? They could just stay there. Pulleys are just inefficient. You don't need to, they need manual adjustments, whereas a water weight would just work.
But they don't look as cool.
I hadn't considered that.
So market operations are suspended while you guys are completing this task. So much of what in front of you is currently motionless and safe for you to explore. But you guys too are looking for a mold cluster. There's wooden cranes above you, look like they rotate around, maze of different pillars and gears. But you guys as well. Can I get insight checks from the three of you?
Absolutely anything for you, Jack.
15 for Drea.
13 for Gimbals.
15 for Torrin.
Voice.
Correct. All of you again rolling high enough to figure this out. But you have the same revelation that Eustace and Clio just had down below. This was a place that he led you through. This was the first place, in fact. This is where he kicked out the pulley and rode it to the top of the building. And Torrin tried to use the jump spell and missed the building. And you go through the same sort of thought process. Like, was he planting something? No, we were chasing him. There's no way he'd have time to plant something. Why lead you guys to a place that is so key to the plan?
These, maybe these aren't the right places, because we've been here before. This is where he first jumped up.
Doesn't make sense he'd lead us here.
Yeah,
But what if he didn't plant the mold?
like someone else planted it, or maybe
The
he's
note-
planting
the
the
note-
mold now.
No, the note said that he said something about the thorn cutters not doing their job well enough and he had to step in. So maybe the thorn cutters not doing their job well enough.
True. The note did also say plant samples at the following locations. Maybe hasn't like gestated yet.
He was entirely too forthcoming and I don't believe that note. I don't think that he's careless enough to drop that note without purpose.
Why would he try to tell us?
I'm giving the puzzle pieces, not the solution.
All right.
Maybe he wants us to bring them down. Maybe
It's
he's
the logical
working.
conclusion.
So you guys look around for a while you're having this conversation, and you squeeze past one of the gears, you wedge your way past a pillar, and you find yourself in this center area right at the center of the pulley house roof. And there's this large central pillar, and growing about 20 feet up, far larger than the previous one, is a cluster of that same mold.
Boy, that's high.
Okay, Eustace and Clio, back in the basement, found the mold. So here's what you're seeing in front of you. You're currently standing in a small opening. It leads into an alcove that has some deep water in it. But part of the roof of the alcove seems to have collapsed, and there's logs and debris that have fallen down. But from your perspective, you can see on the other side of the debris is another one of the mold clusters. So, above game. You are standing at the small entrance, goes into the smaller area that is partially filled with water. Smaller area goes back about 10 feet and is only 5 feet across. The water is about 20 feet deep. In the far corner of the room, you can see the mold cluster, but it is blocked by a large amount of debris. So that is the problem that you are faced with at the moment. You're
What
going
a
to need
conundrum.
to figure out a way to get the potion to the mold.
But it is clear to us how deep the water is. Like we
I
can.
love this.
Yeah, I've given you that information, and yeah,
Yep.
you could go and have a look to determine that.
I think that's the first thing is Claire. She's. I was going to say I'm Claire for a second. I was going to play as your character.
Slay me, man. Tell me about your trauma.
You just kind of like gently walk up to the edge and kind of scope all of that in, and squatting down, looking at all, and then just turn his head back slowly to you. Oh, I've always been a better swimmer than you, sis.
Well, yeah. Do we? I don't know. There's a bit of debris, Eustace. Like if you can swim under it,
Yeah.
but if it goes down, I don't know. Maybe if you're up for like swimming in some dirty sewer water, be my guest. I guess.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time. Maybe you can just, I don't know, I don't know how long it'll take me necessarily above game. I don't know how long it'll take me, but if the mold starts doing stuff, just make a noise or a ruckus, you can be my eyes.
What if we could just what spells do you know?
Not many. None that'll help in this very specific circumstance, unfortunately.
All right, yeah. I mean, sure, but I don't know how. Maybe just see if you can see how low the debris goes, and then if not, we'll
I can do this,
improve
Kyle.
this.
I can do this.
Just okay. I'm right here. So if you run out of breath, or if you I don't know, freak out. I know sometimes you freak out. I'm right here, and she like kneels down next to the water, and also like if it feels too like thick, I wouldn't sewer water. It's not nice.
He's kind of going to get himself in a diving brace position. Well, you have your fun secret hobbies, and this is mine. And then I'm going to dive into the water.
So I'd say as you are preparing to dive into the
Yep.
water, you lean down and you go to dive, and you notice the water has this strange reflective quality to it, this sort of greenish hue. And you notice, and I think this happens before you dive, I'm not going to force you to commit to that, and you notice that the water seems to be covered with a film of some kind of oil.
Ooh.
Back upstairs, Torrin, Gimbals, and Drea, you guys have located the mold as well. So there's this central pillar, and you notice there seems to be a lot of ropes and pulleys and different mechanisms attached to it. And about 20 feet above you on the pillar, you can see this large mold cluster. It's hard to see because there's so much stuff attached to the pillar. So you don't have a clear view of it from this angle. You're going to need to figure out a way to get up there because you can't get a clear shot to hit it with the potion from down here. So this is literally, you just got to figure out a way to get up there, basically. I've got no visual aid for you on this one. There's stuff in the way that's stopping you from being able to hit it from the ground.
How high is it, Jack?
20 feet.
Gimbals turns to Drea and just goes.
Mr. Merriweather, I'm not comfortable throwing you up that high.
Why not?
With no offense, sir, you seem very fragile. If you fall from that height, you might break some bones.
Gimbals is going to use his find familiar, summon his frog, and I'm going to yeet said frog towards the mold. I have a telepathic connection to the frog, so I can see what it sees.
Okay. What's your goal here? What are you trying to achieve?
I want to scout out the obstacles up there.
So you want to like chuck it and stick it up there, basically? And
Yeah, or just check it so I can get a view of the obstacles and stuff, so I can
Okay,
see
but-
if I can find a way to get
Okay.
up.
But you're not trying to throw it into the mold.
No, not necessarily,
cool.
but I mean, hey, if it happens, it happens.
Well, yeah, you don't have a clear shot to the mold from the ground, so you run
Yeah.
into the same problem as you would with the potion.
Yeah, so I'm just going to try and chuck him up to a vantage point where we can see the obstacles and what we can do.
Okay, there's like a high crane nearby, and this is just like an improvised range attack, right? So it's just like a throw. Just beat a 12 to stick it up there.
Felipe, go! 15.
15. Man, just like
His
just
name's
like-
Felipe.
Dang.
Felipe the frog.
Gimbals has got an arm on him. You just throw it up there, it just sticks You can see through the frog's eyes, I guess.
Yeah, so I can see and hear what.
Yep. So you get a better
It is.
vantage point. You can see now where it is, and you can see there's like a bunch of different like cranes and different platforms. And if you could get up a bit higher, you'd be able to get an easier shot on this thing.
Gimbals probably turn to Tor and Andrea, and Felipe has shown me the way. And he'll like head towards a crane to climb up further.
Okay, great. We will cut away at that. All right. So yes, back in the flood basement, you guys have just noticed the water seems to be covered with some strange oil, just as Eustace was about to dive in.
Just to confirm, are we destroying or collecting a sample of this thing?
Destroying.
Oh, fantastic. I think seeing that, he's just going to stop. Actually, Kyle, slight change of plans. We don't have to get close to it. I'm going to cast Entangle on the entire area that the mold is, not targeting a creature, which is just going to create 20 foot of flammable vines.
Oh
yeah.
And try and get that to get as close to this oil as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will turn to my beloved Fire Genasi sister.
Great. And I will cast Produce Flame to set, I guess, the flammable entangle on fire.
If the oil is flammable, I guess.
It is.
Fantastic.
So you ignite the oil and there's this huge rush of flame and the surface of the water is ablaze and the debris starts to fall into the water. And as it does, you see the mold cluster start to burn away. And you see in this moment that the fire had the same effect that it did on the small mold creatures that you fought previously. And as the mold starts to disappear, you see it was larger than you realized. The space it was occupying in the wall of the alcove gets deeper and deeper as it disappears. And then it finally stops. In its place is nothing but a cracked wall. But just as you're about to relax, a fount of water sprays through the crack. Then another. Then the wall explodes. Right, back upstairs, Gimbals, you're doing some climbing. You make your way up to the top, and there you are. You can see the mold cluster in clear view.
All right. Seeing it in clear view, I think Gimbals would, probably heft his potion bottle. Would be like, would anyone like to do the honors?
Are we all up there, or is it just?
I don't know. Did you guys also climb up, or
did you just
scamper
climb up?
there?
Followed, yeah.
Yeah, would have followed up.
Would anyone like to do the honors? I am not confident in my abilities.
I've got something I could do.
Yeah, you do it, Torin.
If you do it, but I hope you do it because I was going to do it, but I wanted you to do it.
Would you say the potion weighs 1 to 5 pounds, Jack?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna cast Catapult.
Nice.
All
The
right.
object flies in a straight line up to 90 feet.
All right. What's that look like?
Torrin is standing there, just lines it up. He's going like, there. Just check for wind resistance. He's going like up a bit, down a bit. There we go. And then when he casts Catapult, it kind of like his arm glows, and there's like a starts levitating, and it's almost like it's fixed in place now. Like there's like a circulation of air. It's just like in trapping the potion in into his hand. Then he just puts his hand forward like so, and then you just see his arm bounce back, and then just a rush of air just shoots out and just goes straight forward.
That works. The potion slams directly into the mold cluster. And again, the mold begins to unmake itself, quickly disappearing with a shining light. But this cluster seemed to have grown larger than what you realized, and it's grown into the gears and mechanisms of this central pillar. You see the shining light extend like tendrils all throughout the pillar and all throughout the pulley house as the mould begins to unmake itself and unmake the pulley house at the same time. The building begins to collapse under your feet. So Eustace and Clio, the water that this wall was holding back hits you. And you sail backwards through the flood basement, twisting and turning in a tidal wave of this crashing water. And meanwhile, Drea, Torrin, and Gimbals, the building is collapsing underneath your very feet. There's nothing to do but jump. Can you all give me an athletics check or an acrobatics check? Something. Just if you got a better way of jumping, let me know. But you just got to beat a 12, basically, or you're going to take D4.
Cool.
All right.
Is that for Clio and us swimming as well?
No, you guys, not yet. This is just Drea, Torrin, and Gimbals.
Yeah.
What do we got?
What was it? Acrobatics and
Or athletics?
Yep, acrobatics, athletics, or something else if you've got a reason.
16 for Drea.
That passes.
It's a 19.
And we got a 11 for. Wait, no, that was just advantage. So did we go left or right one?
We'll go multiple.
Left if it's not advantage. That's just the base roll. So the 13.
13 and Gimbals, what'd you get?
19.
Yes, all of you avoid taking the damage there. You leap from the building as it's collapsing, luckily able to reduce your fall. So you're not jumping from its full height. There's a building with a high walkway that crosses the street as you land in the square. And as you hit the ground, a nearby steel grate bursts open with a gush of water, and blasting out of the pipe, it's Eustace and Clio. All right, guys, same thing for you. Athletics, acrobatics, something else if you've got it. Try not to fall on your
Alrighty.
face.
I'm gonna
Big
roll
12.
acrobatics.
Got exactly a 12.
Ooh,
Hey.
I rolled a 22.
Hey, what's it look like? You guys do anything cool?
Oh man, I think I get knocked out of the water and shot up into the air, and I like land in like a cool superhero position,
Yeah, there you go.
unscathed.
Eustace does Spider-Man landing pose afterwards.
Dang. So the two groups of you slam into the street at roughly the same time. Different explosions propelling you into the same locations. What do you guys do as you notice each other?
Gimbals probably looks at Torrin and Drea and is like, I understand why you wanted us to see them now.
Claire rolls her eyes.
Are we the bad guys?
I think he's trying to frame us as such.
Yeah, it seems like it. Well, so far we have dead birdie boy, and we've exploded 2 things. So
Not a good look.
So anyone got any leads on this Ezekiel?
We know where there's mold. We've all been just looking for mold, right? I don't think any of us, unless anyone's gone off on their own little solo side missions.
What? There is the pies.
Eustace.
Well, we don't. I feel like if
Eustace, I don't know. You picked up this piece of paper and look at these. Why? Like, what is so? I don't understand.
well, I just don't know if we have anything else now because we probably washed away all the evidence or collapsed all the other evidence.
And you're able to hold on to that as we got rushed through the sewers.
Well, pie.
God, Eustace, look at these. Who are these people?
That's
Okay.
isn't that a mystery, sis?
It's a mystery to me.
That's a lead, maybe, but
The only other thing is that note did say that he was coming in to replace the thorn cutters, so the thorn cutters might know who he is. And Cannibal Cameron seemed to know something.
There's a
about
cannibal Cameron now.
I think it was Cannonball.
Cannonball Cameron.
Yeah,
the guy in the cool wheelchair.
yeah.
Yeah. He did mention someone called Honey Viper. He did say to stay away from her, but maybe we find her and get her to talk.
We kind of need to see him because I think we just broke his pulley system. I have some suggestions for improvement.
Isn't the water again?
It's the water again.
hear the sound of fabric rushing, and something falls into the square. You look over where the thing fell. You see a woman slowly striding across the square as the sun sets, casting everything in a deep red. Shrouded in expensive silks, she moves with deliberate slowness towards you until the wind blows and the silk falls off her head. Crimson skin gleaming, tiny bells on her horns chiming, and she stops and starts to speak. I've been looking forward to this. And this is where we're going to end the session.
What?
It's honey bun. Oh.
Honey bun.
You've been listening to Sounds Like Adventure, an Australian podcast, YouTube channel, and Twitch stream. And if you liked what you heard, don't miss the next episode coming out on Tuesday next week. And to make sure you don't miss that episode, head over to the podcast app that you're listening to this on right now and press subscribe or follow the show. But with all that in mind, I'll catch you in the next episode of Sounds Like Adventure.